Hi guys, how's it going? It's Chris Graham here for We Love Betting. Once again, I feel like I've been living in front of this camera, so apologies if you're sick of my face by this week, because I would be as well. Stats chat now, my final video of the weekend, looking at historical data, trends, stats, to see if we can make some money in the football this weekend. I've picked five bets, 4 from England, 1 from Scotland, and we'll start at the top with the Premier League in England. Swansea against Arsenal this weekend. Been some really interesting matches between these sides this season, that's for sure. But the trend and the key thing that keeps happening is we see late goals. We're seeing late goals all the time. So in fact, 6 of the 7 goals scored between these sides this season, and the 3 games they've come up against each other have come in the last 15 minutes. 6 of the 7. Really strong trend there. You think back to that league game, I think it was December the 1st. Michu scored 2 in the last 3 minutes. Remember the Arsenal fans were going bonkers at the Emirates. Remember the FA Cup third round match at Swansea. I think they finished 2-2. There was 3 late goals that game. And then in the replay at Arsenal, Jack Wilshere scored, I think it was the 85th minute. So lots of late goals in this fixture this season, so let's get involved with that again. Ladbrokes are offering 9 to 10 that we will see a goal scored between the 76th and 90th minute in this fixture. I like that. That's the first bet in the book. Second one is the game in the Championship between Barnsley and Watford. Both these sides very prolific in the first half. Barnsley actually prolific in terms of conceding goals in the first half. They conceded 32 goals in the first half of the season. That's the joint worst in the Championship. And then their opponents, Watford, they're prolific in terms of scoring goals in the first half. So Watford scored 30 in the first half. So I'm expecting lots of goals in this first half. So I've backed the first half to be the highest scoring half in this fixture. That's 9 to 4, which is a big price. So highest scoring first half in the Barnsley Watford game. Game 3, I love my head-to-head data, as you know. Head-to-head records. Middlesbrough against Birmingham, very strong one here. Middlesbrough, I've got a fantastic record against Birmingham at home at the Riverside Stadium, that's it. And before that, Ayerson Park, really strong record. In fact, they're unbeaten in 13 games against Birmingham at home. Played 13, won 8, drawn 5, lost 0. They've won 7 in a row though against them. So really dominating them at home, beating them up at home, and giving them a torrid time, the Brummies, when they travel to Middlesbrough. The last time they actually lost to Birmingham at home was on November the 1st, 1980, which was the same month we had the first ever Children in Need appeal. I think that's quite apt because it's Comic Relief weekend this weekend, so you know, a tenuous link there. So Middlesbrough 11 to 10 to beat Birmingham on Saturday. Another one in the book there. League 1, Oldham against Bournemouth. Both these sides concede and score in the last 15 minutes, like the Arsenal-Swansea game. Oldham conceded 33% of their goals this season in the last 15 minutes of games, and they've scored 31% of their goals in the last 15-minute games. Both highs, divisional highs, so no one else has conceded a higher proportion of goals in the last 15 minutes than Oldham in League 1, and no one else has scored a higher proportion of goals in the last 15 minutes than Oldham in League 1. Strong trends there. I thought, well, how did Bournemouth fare here? They're also quite strong in this department in terms of conceding. They've conceded 15 in the last 15 minutes of games this season. That's more than the rest of their second half combined. So say from the start of the second half through to the 75th minute, they've actually conceded more in that wee 15-minute period rather than the 30 minutes before it. So poor in the last 15 minutes. And then in the top 6 in terms of worst defences in the last 15 minutes. So there seems to be goals leaking in the last 15 minutes of this fixture this weekend. Oldham against Bournemouth. I couldn't find out a price actually for a goal between the 76th and 90th minute, but Paddy Power are offering an over-under bet in terms of when will the last goal of the game be scored, and it's over under 72 minutes. So obviously we're going after 72nd minute there. So 10-11 for the final goal to be scored after the 72nd minute in the Oldham Bournemouth game. And finally, an old favourite, but until it stops winning, I'm gonna just keep mentioning it, and that's in Scotland. The Dundee Derby on Sunday, Dundee United against Dundee at Tannadice. And we know the start now, we know the trend now, don't you? I hope you've been following it, because it's made us rich over the last few weeks. And that is, whenever Dundee United play at home in the SPL, both teams score in the game. It's happened 10 in a row now. The last 10 SPL games at Tannadice, both teams have scored. Lovely stuff. 22nd of September last year was the last time it failed to cop. So I'm just going to keep mentioning it until it runs out of steam. You can get that 5-6 with Stan James this week for Dundee United and Dundee, both to score at Tannadice in their SPL game on Sunday. Wrapping up very quickly, Swansea Arsenal, a goal scored between the 76th and 90th minute. Barnsley Watford gone for the highest scoring half there to be the first half at 9-4. Middlesbrough to beat Birmingham at 11-10. The last goal in the Oldham Bournemouth game to be after the 72nd minute, that's 10-11 by Paddy Power, and both teams to score in a Dundee United Dundee game at 5-6. Thank you.